Okay, we're back in King of Retail. And it is Thursday. We're going to have a couple of employees coming on in today. There they are. And they're going to be doing some things. Now, what I don't see happening, and it's kind of annoying me just a little bit, is I'm not seeing my deliveries. I set that up from the HQ. And I paid for it, I'm pretty sure. I got a negative dollar balance, but it doesn't show up. This has happened before, too. The delivery just doesn't actually appear. I think what might be happening with it, so far, I think, is every day that this has happened is a day where I have set up the delivery for the following morning, but then I don't play on. I save it, and then I log off or whatever, and then when I open the game back up, I'm here, but I don't think my order status has been saved, even though the money has been taken. I think that's, I don't know if that's actually happening. So I'm a little bit confused on it, but I didn't get a delivery today. And so now I have 2 employees, and I might want them to be doing like restocking things instead so that I can focus on just selling. I think that might be what she's doing. She went back to the stock room, so that she might be doing that. So I can focus on like upselling today while I've got them on the cash register. And you can see how our new store layout actually works for us, yeah? Because I think it's going to be great. I did order, right? I got different kinds of milk, 6 different kinds of milk right here. And then there's different kinds of cheeses. We got butter, like margarine, that kind of thing. You got yogurt. We've got some whipped cream kind of stuff going on in here. So a lot of dairy products and stuff are right here. And then you, is this not in stock? I guess it is, yeah. Then we got the cereals and everything over here. There's still some shelf space here to place some more products. I just don't have any money, clearly. I was at negative balance, so that's a bit of an issue. So I'll just go ahead and ask this guy if he would like to buy a bucket. There you go. See, there's a blue bucket right over there, sir. It's with your name on it. I know it's not green, but there's a guy somewhere out there. I was told that you guys like the blue buckets. Now, let's see. So both of my employees, I think she says nothing to do moving around. So I need her to do something else. I'm going to have you... I'm not sure how good she is at this. But I'm going to have you try greeting. Try being a greeter. Now, I've had comments about how common it is. Like, it must be an American thing to greet people out here. This is not something we do. This is not an American thing at all. We do not stand outside our stores and greet people and try to bring them inside the stores. That's why I was so confused and kind of weirded out by this entire phenomenon, this entire feature. Our greeters stand here inside the store and greet people as they come in. That's how our greeters do it. And that's almost always only at very large stores like Walmart, Meijer. They have greeters that stand inside the doors, not outside the doors. So they don't say anything to you. They don't even see you unless you have already decided to come in. So just throwing that out there, this whole thing where it's like, it must be an American thing. I don't think that comment is coming from anyone who lives here, because that would be very known. People who live here know that we don't do that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that's coming from. Either, like I said, the developer's from Denmark. So maybe they do that there. I don't know. Maybe they... Maybe he thinks they do that here? I don't know what's going on there. Either way, though, my greeter will now stand outside and do nothing, which seems like a really bad job for them to do. It just seems like this is an enormous waste of my wages. Now, that person's considering it, right? And now you're going to go and greet that person. Okay, now I can go ahead and greet this person. And we can see if we can tackle this and have 2 people considering coming into our stores. And we'll just make sure that we stand in the most inconvenient place possible to make sure that we're, maximizing how in the way we are. I'm clearly faster at this than she is. And she did go in, but she's not very good at it. Right? So let me get a chance to, increase your satisfaction once you're in the store. There we go. So I think maybe I'll go ahead and get her not to do greeting customers, but instead to do refilling. I'm just going to put her on restocking shelves now, and I don't have to do that anymore. This is clearly not the kind of day that I want to have 2 employees. I think this is a good Sunday task to have 2 people here, but unfortunately, each one of my employees want a different day off, so that doesn't really work that way. And she is very much stuck there with me standing there. They have no flexibility in their pathing at all. Yeah, I probably should just send her home. Because paying her to be here is probably not a great idea. Well, in any case, this is our day. It's Thursday, and everyone's in the... There we go. Yep. Let's look outside here. Are you going to consider it? Oh, you're coming right in. That's great. That's great. There's enough room for people to move around in here, it looks like. So not a whole lot of people getting stuck with where our shelves are. So I like the store layout. This is probably the permanent layout for this store. I just have to get things in stock, but otherwise, like, you know, little spaces on the shelves and stuff where I don't have anything in. This shelf is done. This shelf looks awesome. It's quite beautiful. Different types of breads are right here. You got peanut butters and jellies and jams and things like that. There's some other preserved stuff I could put up here on this shelf. They have olive oil, vinegar, that kind of thing over here with different types of ketchup, mayo, spices, or, you know, things like paprika, you know, things like that. So just like general stuff over here on that side. And then I have to do a lot of work here with getting more alcohol options as well. But I don't like how dedicated my employee is to walking through this narrow gap, but it's fine. We just need to get somebody a little faster on the cash register. But I like how this queue is shaping up exactly the way I wanted, in that, you know, the only thing I would change is putting this shelf right here and then putting this shelf right here. But then it'd be hard for them to leave because the shelf is so big. So it'd be a little challenging for them to leave. I also would like to get one of these hanging rack things. I'd like to put it right here, but I'm actually kind of seeing how much foot traffic there is through here, and I'm kind of against it now. I'm kind of thinking maybe not. This little hanging thing I'd love to just put here out of the way, but they can't have that. You can't put it here because it's in the way of the door. I don't think I can put it here because it's in the way of the queue. If I was to put it here, I think it would also be in the way of this here, because this has a red zone in front of it. So I think it would be in the way of that too. So I've maximized the space is what I'm saying. I have things exactly where I can have them. Aside from right here, I have things, everything is occupied. The whole floor space is either, you know, it's red or it's the line, you know, coming through here. I can't even get through here. It's too narrow to walk this way either. So yeah. Well, anyway, I got someone else doing stocking things, and poof, there's not much to do, is there? It's not that busy of a day. So I will just stand around, walk around, recommend products to customers, go upsell, do the thing that I'm good at, which is customer facing stuff, giving them a great experience. And I'll see you guys in a second. Again, I wish I had a delivery so that I could have filled this, but I didn't get that delivery, so it's fine. We'll have to do it tomorrow then instead. It's actually a surprisingly busy day, and these queues kind of keep going. So I'm gonna switch things up. I'm gonna give the employees, you know, a chance to do other types of skills and stuff if they like. So we're gonna have Darlene. She has a very bad sales experience, though. I was gonna give her a chance to like go out to customers and try to sell them, but I don't know about that. Your sales experience is better, so I think Sue, we're gonna have you try sales, okay? And then Darlene is gonna go in and start refilling shelves. All right. So what I can, yeah, like you can see here, what I'm doing is I can reassign them temporarily to a task. They have their sort of default task that they're on, and then I can change that. So I'm gonna go through this real quick. I'm just gonna try to bring these two in. I think probably the checkout line is gonna be abandoned now. Yeah, that's a downside. That's my managerial decisions here. It's okay. I'm faster at checking people out, so I wanted to be the one on the cash register just temporarily because the line is getting very long. So we're gonna check people out here really quick. We have one person restocking, the other person going around trying to sell things. And now I can process this queue a little bit faster than they can. And they're also about to go on break as well, so then I'll be all alone and I'll have to sit here anyway. So that's kind of where I'm at on this here. If I take a look at their schedule in a second, see, the queue is just constantly there. It's great, actually. The store is getting very busy, and this was with no marketing at all. So I'm imagining a situation now where I have I have marketing coming in here. Maybe I need a larger store, right? Laker Center can expand, but I think probably what will happen is I'll just raise my prices a little bit. Start out with that. See if there's any impact there on how busy the day is. See, she's going in. Let me see how good she is at this. I don't see anything above their head. They might have just turned her off to it. Did you just get her to leave? This might be a bad idea to have her do that. It might be. It might be. We should probably maybe look at having her clean or something. I don't know. Let's see. Darlene is the one restocking. Says nothing to do. Okay, let's take you off of sales. And, you know, put you on... I'll just put you on... You're probably not good at greeting either. What are you good at? Presentation. Putting articles on displays. I mean, you're actually better at the refilling thing. I'm just going to put you on both on refilling then. You'll both handle that until your break. Okay. That's fine. It just means nobody's going to be coming into the store here, but... Oh, there we go. See, I need to stop. Get out of my way. Come on, you wipe. There we go. Guy's flagging me down. Okay. I know it's a little crowded coming through here, isn't it? Just a little crowded. Walking across this, but I mean, it's to fit things into this small space. I think you're on break. Yeah, she's on break. That's why she's doing nothing. And then the other one has a break in an hour. So, like, they have alternating breaks. They don't take their break at the same time. All right. So I think maybe now that one of them is done with their break, she's on break now. So, Darlene, you can go back on the cash registers. I'm going to put you back on the register now. You can go back and do that. There you go. And I will continue to try to upsell people. We're at how about what, $2,000 or so? Pretty close anyway on revenue today. Pretty good. It's not profit, of course, but yeah, I'm seeing the money go up. That's a good thing. I do find that it's obviously because it's a game, right? I'm trying to do this in a way that's somewhat realistic to how a store would be designed. Trying to anyway, and because it's a video game, you know, the customers don't necessarily do realistic things, so they do spend a lot of time standing right here thinking about what they want in their general shopping experience before going off somewhere else. And I mean, unless they came into the store specifically for chocolate, that's just kind of not what they would be doing. They would probably, again, these things are generally more impulse buys. These little chocolates like this are generally more impulse buys. Looks like we're getting a little bit. See, we're running out. I have multiple shelves here on these hooks. There are multiple hooks dedicated to each of these things because there's only 2 per hook. And it looks like we're finally not able to restock that one. Hello, sir. I'm going to get intimately close to you to explain to you exactly why this cone-shaped object is for you. Okay, that queue is getting danger long again. She's just a little bit slow at this cash register. She's just not quite fast enough to handle this. We're going to put her back on refilling. And I'm going to get her out of here, and I'm going to take over that job again. It's just so the experience of having employees, right, is you got to know that, you know, sometimes their skills are limited. Even though her sales or her cash register skill is pretty up there, like it's you know, it's more than half full. It's just not quite enough to handle this long of a queue in a reasonable time. And, you know, maybe I need a second cash register, right? That's the thing. And if I need a second cash register for this store, then obviously the design is kind of botched, right? The design kind of doesn't work at that point because there's not room for it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this I got through the queue. Let's put her back on the job. The other one, Sue, she's better at restocking the presentation and things. So, yeah, I'd have to put her back on the cash register if she can do that. She should go back to it now. The other thing to consider as well is if I'm really good at sales, like I consistently am making, like, upselling these guys, right? Or getting them to buy more, I guess, like this, following her around like a predator, and do that. Right? If I am good at this, and I tend to be, I'm pretty much hitting every single time people are thinking about things, then I'm getting more items per customer, which is a good thing. But it does mean also that, you know, Darlene here, it's going to take her longer per customer to check them out because they have more items. And so there's that part too. And And I think it's good. I mean, if I can go to like a recruiter instead of having the whole like drop in, walk in application sort of thing. If I went to a recruiter, I might be able to get somebody who's like an all-star at the cash register, and then they'd be able to keep up with me. Because right now, I think I'm able to upsell way faster than they can check them out. I mean, it's nice because I have someone to check them out while I'm upselling, but it does mean that I have to take over once in a while, and that kind of defeats the purpose of it. But we're doing pretty well here. We got $3,100 in the bank here. That means that we got about 3,300 or so ish today of revenue since we started with a negative balance. See, it's getting real crowded right here, and I don't know how to fix that. I think it's just where things are located and what people are interested in at the given time. But I think what's happening here really is that there's more customers in here than this store's designed for. Like, also right here, this is perfect. I want first person in this game. First person would be awesome. Then I would never have my head in the way, you know? It'd be awesome. But it's just not, I don't think that's going to happen. If it does, then great, but I don't think that's going to happen. It'd be really cool if it did, though. Like, it'd be really personal. Like, I have my hands, physically see my hands, like, reach across and put things on a shelf and stuff would be really nice. I don't know why I'm bothering to do this. I have a restocker for that. Q's getting 4 long. Make that 5 long. Oh, pretty close anyway. Yeah. They all come in waves too, and then it's... Yeah, and they're slow. All right, I'm gonna have to tell her to just go back and restock. You can try your hand at sales, but you're probably bad at it. You're gonna be bad at that. Maybe cleaning. How fast the employee can clean. Is cleaning even needed? I don't even see that here. I don't think cleaning is a thing that's in the game yet. I don't think. Like I've seen it on these shelves in here. You come over here. It says clean the unit to keep the capacity at max. But I don't know what that's actually doing. All I know is that we need her out of here because it's too slow. So go off and do something else. Maybe I could have somebody greet this person. Too late. It's okay. Yeah, guys, flagging them down. Nobody's gonna listen to them. Nobody's gonna pay attention to them. Both my people are. I know. I think I probably should have somebody on sales, because like give them experience doing that, right? I mean, they're not gonna get experience doing it if I don't let them try. So I think maybe it's okay at this point. It's late in the day. We'll have Sue, who's decent at it. We're gonna have her go ahead and try her hand at sales now, and see whether or not she's able to do any upselling. People put their hand up in the air, right? We want to be able to talk to people, so we'll see if Sue's able to manage that. Is she gonna go talk to this person? No. See, they're just standing there doing nothing right now. That's my worry, is that most of the day is spent standing around doing nothing. Even though I had them on restocking, is this really out of stock right now? Like this, there doesn't look like there's much on that shelf. You guys literally don't have any more resources in the stock room to put on in that freezer? I'm just gonna stand here and check out. I mean, at 1800 they both go home anyway, right? Oh, I don't know if that's right or not, actually, because her schedule might be... I still have her to closing time, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back in HQ and change that, because I'm paying her an extra hour. Which, I mean, is fine, I guess, you know? She's really great at refilling. Task preferences. She wants to refill things. She likes this. She's okay with cash registers as far as her preference goes. But she likes refilling stuff. So you know what? Fine, you can refill stuff. There you go. For the end of the day, you can refill stuff. That's fine. And then for Darlene, her task preferences... I don't know what her task preferences are. It is cash registers all the way. She loves this. Okay, I'll put her back on cash registers, I guess. Yeah. That's actually her... That's not her temporary task. That's her actual task. Yeah, that's her standard task. It's near the end of the day. I'm going to have to take over for her anyway pretty soon, but it's fine. Definitely no reason for 2 employees, I think. I don't know. Is there really a reason for it? Like, there's got to be stuff in the stockroom for this, right? Like, look at how much stuff I can put on here. Not bad, actually. Honestly, I am actually really low. Okay. Okay, maybe there is a need. I mean, eventually I won't be here, right? I'm going to move on to another store. And so, yes, you'll need someone on the cash register, someone refilling shelves, somebody greeting, somebody doing sales inside. You only need 4 people on staff in this store, which is pretty expensive. But it'll be profitable because I made thousands of dollars today. So I'm not sure when I pay them. Do I pay them at the end of the day or the beginning of the day? You know, I'm not sure. See, first person would be great with this game. Look at this. That's great. I could just get right down there and talk with the customer, even if they do have duck lips. You know, that whole like selfie pose that girls tend to do for whatever reason. They purse their lips together. Hey, flagging me down. What's up? Here you go. Yep, I hope I was able to adequately answer your question. Oh, this guy too. What's up? Wow, everybody's curious today. Okay, well, I'm here. I'm paying attention. But I think people are going to go home now. Yep, Darling just went home, so now I have to be on the register. That's okay. Okay, so I think that's the last customer of the day because they're walking in the store and then immediately walking out, which I really wish they would just enter the store at the end of the day, and then, you know, we could... Like, there's no reason to use the close queue button because... Like, they're not coming into the store after, you know, 15 minutes left in opening, so it's fine. So now what I can do is my employee is going home, right? So she's going to leave, and I'm going to go ahead and restock all the shelves to make sure that we maximize however much is on the shelves to begin with. So I'll spend a little bit of time restocking, and then I'm going to HQ, and I'm going to enter this order in, and I'm going to have to wait until the next day to get that order. Interesting that people are still coming by. You know, I've missed out on about 6 customers now because of the closing time. I might extend it. I don't know. I kind of wish I could extend it in increments that weren't just 1 hour increments. You know, like my arrival time, I wish I could come in like a half an hour before we open instead of an hour before we open. Or I could open a half an hour earlier or half an hour later. That thing would be nice because then I could have the, you know, if I want to open at 9:30, I could have the stock guy come at 9 like he does and deliver things, and then, you know, I could have a half an hour to unload it. So these are all filled. Looks like they got some toothbrushes today too. Yep. I need to get going with some more stuff on that rack. It's kind of a pathetic looking rack. I might just take this out. Just remove that and then put the brushes. I don't know. Like, I have different stuff here, but I might put them maybe nowhere. Maybe I just don't sell them. It's the only thing I can think of to hang on this is brushes, not just toothbrushes. There's other types of brushes here too, but it's still, yeah, it's near the home section, right? Okay, so let's go end the workday. We got $5,700. So that's a pretty good chunk of change we made here, yeah? Expenses were $611. And we're going to go to the HQ, and I'm going to hit one little button, and hopefully that little button shows like well over 1,000 products that need to be delivered because I think we're under stock on a lot of stuff. I could also, now that I have more shelves, I could also expand just a little bit more, you know, like raise the numbers on our min-maxes just a little bit more, I think. So first off, opening hours 9 to 20. Again, I wish I could go to like 8:30. Would be great. Like, I want to do that. I want to open at 8:45 and close it at 8:30. That would be better. Order system right here. So go to min-max, and yeah, 1,284 articles. Now, before we get into that, I'm going to add this to cart. Here's all the things we need, but I want to adjust these numbers a little bit. And the easiest way to do that is, unfortunately, to change this number and then hit this button, and then change this number and hit this button to match that number. Unfortunately, that's the easiest way to do it. I wish there was a better interface that allowed me to do this. But I don't see it. But it'd be really cool. I think a really cool addition to this would be for me to have just up down arrows on this, and I could raise the up downs on that, and then also give me an up down arrow above it up here or below it down here, and then that would allow me to raise or lower all of these min max numbers for these products by one, right? So if I'm thinking, you know what, I wish I had 10 of everything and 10 more of everything, I wouldn't have to raise this. I could just raise this, right? And then I would have 10 more of everything. Right now, I can set min-max values from cart, and that's going to adjust all of these numbers to what this is. And that's obviously not what I want to do either. So this button is, to me anyway, largely useless. But it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to order things, make sure we get that, and then, hopefully tomorrow morning guy shows up. Is capacity is, I think that's another big thing here, is the capacity is too high. We have too much stuff. I need to have another pallet, but he should still deliver some of it. I think I'm going to overpay because he won't deliver the rest of it, and I'm not sure when he would deliver the rest of it in that case. So having another pallet is a big deal here. Actually, I would need 2 pallets to support this. So maybe instead of that, I'm going to have to eliminate some products here. So I can say things like, maybe we did sell like 11 cheeses today, 10 cheeses today. We sold quite a few here. But if our min-max value is 40 and we need 10 more to get up to that value, then there's a good chance that I have a day's worth of that still in stock. So I'm going to get rid of that. And then same thing here, I can get rid of that. And I'm going to have to go down this list until I'm at least under 3,000. And then what I'll do is I'll just make sure that the pallet can be placed, and we'll get the order in, and then I can delete the pallet. So I'm also looking to add more employees to the store just to kind of help with this as I scale up and then eventually move on to other stores, right? So we have Lee Olson here. He's 27 years old. His best skill is cash registers. He's definitely very good, very fast at that. Here's the thing, though, about Lee Olson, okay? He wants 10 hours on average, and he has like no requested benefits at all. He's pretty good at these things that he's claiming, but his best skill is cash registers, which is something he doesn't like as much, which is weird. I mean, I guess it's not uncommon to have the thing you're best at be the thing that you don't enjoy as much. But I just found that interesting. Like, he really wants to go into sales and presentation, and he's even great with cleaning and all that. But I'm also seeing security as a task preference, and security implies to me that theft will be in the game. I don't see it in the game yet, but I had a question about that, and I think it's going to be in the game at some point because the security skill is there. How good the employee is at spotting theft is in the game. I don't see it. And maybe I don't see it because they're stealing from me and I don't see it, right? Maybe that's what it is. But I don't see anything about that. But anyway, I'm looking to add other people to the store. Primarily, I'm looking for people who are going to be very reliable, who don't want to charge me an arm and a leg for very simple things. So this guy here has incredibly low selflessness. So he probably wants $20 an hour, which is actually lower than I thought he was going to want. But he also wants the 50% standby bonus. He wants evening bonuses, weekend bonuses. He prefers to work evenings and weekends, probably because he gets the bonus. But he only wants 20 hours a week, and yada 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 yada. Right? Like there's a balance to all of this stuff, and I have to look through each one of these things. The other thing I can do is I can look for trying to get somebody to work in the HQ, because you might be thinking, can your office be expanded? Yes, you can expand your office as well. So this guy here, Javier Swanson, very good at marketing, negotiation, getting prices and good deals. He's also good at scouting, reading applicants, right? Got a lot of that stuff going on. So we could get him in the HQ. He wants almost $20 an hour, and he wants Fridays off. So whatever, that's fine, I guess. But we could get him in the HQ. And how you do that, you reach into your corporate balance, right? And you go in and buy another room, right? So you buy another office and manager to perform their work. If you get a medium office, it's a larger office space that adds further comfort to the manager, increases their happiness and performance. And of course, a large office comes with both status and bragging rights over the other coworkers. This office adds an even greater benefit to happiness and performance. So it costs a lot of money. I can't afford it. But you know, a manager would be more effective in that. And then there's a conference room here with all amenities for showing your latest graphs. This room unlocks possibilities of hiring staff. A little typo there, and attract higher level applicants. So if I had a conference room instead of a meeting room, right, I would be able to get higher level people. So there is a little bit to this, but like the HQ is largely unimportant in the grand scheme of the game, which is why it's got like cookie cutter rooms that you can move around, because you know everything else is mostly regarding the your stores. I suppose I could paint the walls and everything here too. Right? We could go into like I think tile walls generally look the best, but it doesn't look like it's gonna let me paint the walls here. Interesting. So the wall painting function is here, but not the ability to do so. So it's really just about the floors, I guess, right now. In that case, ooh, I kind of like this. Can I change it to like this? I want like a bluish color. Ooh, yeah, like add some blue and red to it. Like, I like that. We'll do one tile at a time. You can't click and drag. It just moves the camera when you try that. So you can't hit shift to do the whole floor or anything like that either, in case you're curious. So it's one tile at a time, but like that's quite loud, but also kind of rad. Yeah, I'm in. All right, cool. That's my new Rockstar casino like floor there, which I assume saves when I leave. There's no save design button up here like there is in build mode with stores, so I'm gonna assume that it does that when I leave. So yeah, we'll go on to Friday and we'll see where we end up here, but I want to go home. I'm not gonna reload the game or load saves or anything like that, and just hoping that this delivery happens, because I was charged for it. My balance is lower. You can go back before the cut. You can see how my balance is definitely lower than it was before. Granted, I did add more money to my corporate balance too. I put $2,000 in there as well. But I had over $2,000 committed to this delivery. And I've done that in the past. I've committed like $2,000 to a delivery and then had that delivery not show up. So yeah, like it hopefully it shows up this time at 8 o'clock. I do need to add a pallet in order to have the full delivery happen, though. No, not this. So I need the, where is it? I need this. Nope, this. I don't know where I can put this. It's going to have to be in the middle of the store. Ugh. I'll unload this first. Yeah, it's fine. So at least I have, if I need a big delivery, I can place pallets right here, have those deliveries, and then I can spend all my time unpacking them. Yeah, it's fine. All right, so we have 3 pallets that gives us 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 capacity, and that's what my delivery is scheduled for, is 3,000 exactly. So I'm not going to have every single product delivered today, but I should have stock every single product, because I primarily took away the stuff that I already presumably have a decent amount in stock already, because the numbers I needed to reach stock values was low, but the stock value was high. So like I needed 6 items to reach my 60 quota. Okay, well that means I have over 50 in the store. I'll just not have that delivery happen today, and that's kind of what I did. So we'll see how that goes. I really wish deliveries happened sooner. Having deliveries come in 9 is just not good. They need to come in sooner. Deliveries, in my opinion, should come in right when I do. Like most stores, again, I can only speak for United States, can't speak for other places in the world. But most stores have their deliveries very early in the morning. And so you don't have all this truck traffic and all that stuff coming through while customers are coming through. Like the delivery guy coming in exactly at the same time as the customers is not ideal at all. Because again, I have to now have this stuff in the middle of the store on the pallet and everything, and that's not ideal. But we're gonna unpack that pallet as soon as possible, and then we'll as soon as he's done, he's in there loading this up right now. And I have someone in the cash register. Yep. Okay. I wonder if I'm notified, or rather how I'm notified if somebody calls in sick. There has to be a notification for that kind of thing, but I wonder how that happens. See, like this is blocking him. I don't like that. So we're gonna go ahead and unpack this right now. That'll be the first thing I unpack. And then while she's checking people out, we'll yeah, we'll get all this stuff done and in stock and stuff, and I'll focus on that. I have adjusted the schedules a little bit. So I have my employee is going to I needed to adjust their hours a little bit because their job satisfaction was suffering. I had 36 hours for her, and she had a request for having an average of 30. And so her job satisfaction was dropping because she was working too many hours. So I've adjusted that. But that does mean that at the end of the day, I think I'm going to do it at the beginning of the day, though. I think I'm going to have it set. It sounds odd to do this because there's like deliveries at the beginning of the day, but I think I might do it at the beginning of the day because generally speaking, the beginning of the day is slower than, you know, near the end of the day for them, for their work day. And I'd rather have them here when it's busiest. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it to where they arrive later. I might be able to see her schedule, actually. Can I see her schedule right now? Ugh, it's not her. So, like, she's arriving at 9. The other employee arrives at 10. I forget their name. Darlene. Darlene arrives at 10 now because she had too many hours. And that's going to help her job satisfaction a little bit there, too. So I can trust that while I'm back here in the stock room, everything out there is going to get taken care of, right? I mean, maybe people aren't going to be greeted at the front of the store, but that's okay, right? We're just going to do this and then restock all of our shelves. Actually curious on whether or not this many items is going to fill my shelves or not. It shouldn't, but I mean, I've adjusted the values on our min-maxes, so maybe it does. Yeah, see, I don't hear any cash register action going on out there, so it is just a little bit slow, right? It's Friday. I don't know, maybe Fridays are slower too. So now I can go through. I should have everything in stock now. That's maxed out. Oh, I don't have any products listed for this area yet. Yeah, it's okay. Do you want to get all my pink soda? This fizz stuff, pink fizz or whatever, that needs to be put in stock too. People love that stuff. I probably should have more of it. There we go. All right, so to make sure that we have everything in stock. Hey, I'm sorry about that, buddy. Make sure we have everything in stock for the weekend because it's Friday right now. I went ahead and just made a delivery, or I just told them to, you know, do a delivery here to get ourselves min-maxed up right now. My employee's going to go home in about 40 in-game minutes or so, 45 in-game minutes or so. And I want to have everything unpacked and ready to rock before that happens so I can just man the cash registers. Friday is a pretty slow day. It's not that busy today. So it's nice. It's a good recharge before the weekend happens here. And almost done unpacking. It takes a while, doesn't it? Here we go. Yep. Just stick my head on the wall here. I can keep an eye on the cash register right over here. She is still at least attentive, but sometimes they do whistle at her because she's just like, yeah, I don't really want to check them out right now. See, look at her. She's not doing her job. They're standing there and she's just like not checking her out right now. So that happens sometimes, you know. I kind of like it, you know, because like employees, you know, they don't really not dedicated to their job. Yeah, see, they're whistling at her anyway. They're not as dedicated to their job as I am, right? Because I'm the business owner, so that makes sense that I would be a bit more dedicated to the job than they would be. I got a lot more invested in it. So she should be going home now. At least I thought she was anyway, unless... did I mess it up again? She does one more hour. Okay. I guess I messed it up, but it's fine. It's fine. It means I can restock and then go. So, oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Put it back. Wrong button. Yeah, I don't want to completely take all the stock away. So let's do that. I've added a couple more varieties of beer. So I got these down here and then these over here now. So just a little bit of extra stuff. I've also grabbed a lot more of the pink soda. We run out of this stuff, so I'm going to store more of it in my stock room so that I'm ready to go that way. Yeah, she's not very fast, okay? I need to recruit more talented, more dedicated employees, okay, that's what I mean. I've also added a couple of other varieties of products over here too. So I've added these little cleaning products right here, these little bottles, and then a whole bunch of matches, different matches and stuff here, and then toothpaste as well as over there too. Okay, and then the chocolates. I think I've got pretty much everything restocked at this point. So we should be very close to min-max values. We shouldn't need a whole lot delivered after tonight or from HQ tonight. And We're ready to go for another brilliant weekend at the Laker Center. I don't get a lot of business after 8 o'clock, but as you saw there were some people to check out. And so I have added 1 extra hour to our operating hours as well. It's just going to be a solo hour. No employees are working this hour. It's very slow, so I don't need anybody else here. But I've added 1 more hour. And then eventually when I leave the store and I go off and do other stores and stuff, then, maybe I'll adjust that and just have ourselves, have it close an hour earlier. If I have to pay people to be here, but, it's okay. I think if I was going to have one person here, then it would just be a cash register person and, nobody sales, no greeting, no nothing, no restocking even, it'd be fine. So there we go. Everything's in stock. Everything's ready to rock and roll for the weekend. And then I think I could probably go into HQ and just do another min-max, but there wouldn't be much to order. If I go to min-max here, there's 191 things to order. It's not a huge order, and they're not large quantities. So it doesn't really matter if we get that order in. But yeah. Okay. So yeah, we will get some people. Okay, well, I don't know why they do that. It's like if they don't think they can get to the checkout counter before closing time, then they don't enter the store. It's very weird. I'm open for another 20 minutes. You guys could have gone in here, even if you grab a couple of things. What I think it should do is they should enter the store, they should do their thing, and then, because I have an open queue for the cash register, I have an open queue right now. They should just do their thing, and then as soon as it hits closing time, they come to the checkout, with what they have, no more additional shopping, and then we check them out. That should be what it is, to be honest, because no store is going to be open for another 20 minutes and be like, hey, if you can't get to the checkout counter in 20 minutes, then don't bother. That's the problem with this. But if I want to have, effectively I am closed at 8:30, right? Because they won't come in. So I'm effectively closed at 8:30 because of that. Okay, so that is that. With everything in stock on the shelves, you see I do have a couple of spots here on the shelves here. So we are good to expand our product offering because we're not done yet, right? Our shelves are not completely full yet. I did move the juices because I added the new beer. So I moved the juice. I thought about maybe putting the juice in here, but I want to keep this for dairy. And then I moved the juices back over here on the shelf. And then I added 3 new juices. And so we're going to have a whole big liquor area here and then, some stuff to mix it in. And then if they want to mix it in with sodas and stuff, they can come over and get their soda from this area here, I guess, what's cold. I don't know. Maybe I'll put some soda out here on the bottom shelf or something, or over here on this one area. But I do want to kind of leave this whole thing for different kinds of liquor. So let me just take a really quick look at beverages. I want liquor here. So I don't think I have these. Do I? No. It sort of shows zeros across the board. I don't have these. So how popular are these? Okay. I think I can get the apple one, the pink one. We could do lemon, I guess. It's not that popular with our target demographic, but there's only 4 of them. I want to keep it in groups of 3 because that works really well with the shelves. This one here, I already have my 3 for that brand. I have these already too. This one here I don't have. Captain Jacob's White and Drac. I think it's supposed to be dark. But I don't have those, I don't think. These are the Little Friend stuff. Daniels. Yeah, I don't have those. So let's get those in stock as well, if I can. So we'll look back over there at liquor. Yeah, they're pretty good. I think they'll sell well. So let's keep 30 in stock as our minimum values. We don't really sell a lot of them though. I think 12, 24 is the double. Maybe we'll go 25. And then 25 across here as well. So we'll have this added to our min-max values that we'll keep in stock too. And then we have the Hunter Master. I have that already. I don't have the malt. Should I have the malt? And Daniel Jackson's triple. I don't have those either. I have the single and I have the brownstone malt. Ah. Okay. Okay. So if I went... Yeah, I have all of these. Okay, so let's do the triple. It's not going to sell a lot, but we can have... It's pretty expensive to buy, too, so it's going to be a low volume thing for sure. But let's get that anyway. And I think maybe also boxed wine could be an interesting thing, too. This will be really popular with the lower incomes, working forces. Yeah, so like right here. Box stuff there. Yeah, right there. I think maybe we could even have 6 of these. We could have all of these in stock, honestly. Yeah, Riesling, Malbec. Yeah, the Merlot. Yeah, there's our Cabernet. And then the Fantastico Blanc and Chardonnay. That is 7 items. I want 6. So let's pick one that's... Let's get rid of... this one's less appealing to red. And we already have stuff that's pretty appealing to red, though. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that's kind of appealing to red. So let's say maybe this one here. It's pretty sharp. That's very sharp to the white, though. But so is that one. I think we'll get rid of this one. So the Fantastico Merlot will go. Yeah. So 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these. That's 6. I like it. And then we'll keep, let's go. It's not going to be very high volume. We'll keep 28 in stock. And you see right there, I can't order this because I don't have enough money. We're going to give the store more money too. I already gave the store a little bit more money to make this happen from the corporate account. If you're paying attention to the numbers at the top of the screen, you might have noticed the corporate account's lower. I've already done that to give them more money, and I can go ahead and do that again. So this here is going to be our min-max values for that order. And I think that's it for the weekend. So we'll have that go. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the cart. We're going to give the store, let's say another... I'll go ahead and give it $2,000 just to really make sure we can do that. We'll end the workday here, and then we'll put the order in HQ, and it should arrive in the morning, and then we can get more liquor offerings available for people there. Yep. And then I'll take a look at the employees too. I might want to have like a restock person and stuff. I think having 2 employees on the weekends is a good idea. It got busier on the weekends, so I want to make sure that we are... I've only had 1 weekend of experience of this, but I want to make sure that's something we do. So drop in applications. We have more applicants this time. What I'm really looking for here is health being high. I don't want to have a lot of sick days. I don't want to deal with that. And I'm looking for the high skills in something that I need them to do. So presentation skill is a good one. They can restock shelves. I don't know whether or not they're going to go fast with that. But it's refilling and presenting articles on displays. I don't really know, because it seems like they're all fairly cookie cutter and how they sit on the shelves. But perhaps presentation skill relates to how fast they can do it too. I don't know. Like if you're skilled at presenting articles, then you would be naturally faster at it than someone who is learning how to do it. That's my logic behind that, such as it is. I'm looking for selflessness so that they don't cost me a whole lot, and punctuality, health. This is very good. Presentation, this is very good. Might have to pay for it, but that's what it is. Work focus is good. I like that. Flexibility. Let's see what you're interested in. So you just want Thursdays off. You're neutral on this stuff. Fantastic. You want a long workday length, but you want 20 hours. Okay, well, standby bonus 40%. She's neutral about having it, though. Evening bonus 20. Basic health insurance. It's not a big deal. It's not huge. She doesn't want any paid sick days, and that makes sense because who cares? She's in really good health. If I was to put her on, she was good at restocking, right? What was her straight? Yeah, presentation. She was all right with restocking and stuff. Not great with sales, but I can have her as like a constant restock. That'd be all right. So she's a 20-hour a week kind of thing. So with 20 hours, let's see. So evening bonus would be 20%. That's what she wants. The standby bonus, she wanted to be 40%. But if I turn that off, if I go like this and then turn it off, that keeps it, which is interesting to me. Okay, so we'll just turn it off, but we get the star bonus anyway, I guess. And then the health insurance, she wanted basic. That's enough to get her to work for me, and I'm interested in that. I think maybe we'll take the evening bonus. We'll bring it up a little bit because I probably won't have her work evenings anyway. I like that. And then 18-20 an hour sounds fine, so we'll go ahead and do that. Next person, I want one more because she's only 20 hours a week, so I want one more. This person's best skill is cash registers. I think I want a salesperson, to be honest. I want someone who's going to go around and actually be able to sell some stuff, upsell. This guy's pretty good on that front. Decent presentation as well, rationality, adaptability. He's going to cost me. How much is he going to cost me? 1975 is not that much more compared to what I just had. How many hours do you want? You're looking for 20 as well, but you prefer weekends and evenings, and that is going to cost me because you want bonuses too. So, yeah, I'm going to pass. Yeah, I'm going to pass. I mean, I can keep going and just be patient and find the right applicant, but I think this person is a little expensive. 20 an hour, and then you want a 20% bonus on your preferred work times, and then you only want 20 hours. You see what I'm saying? I'm basically going to have you work weekends and evenings for that 20% bonus all the time to get you to those hours, unless I, try to pay you more anyway as a base rate, and I don't want to do that either. Be nice to have somebody who maybe is really good at learning, like this person here, Antonia Kelly. Decent health, good. She can learn new things. She has great conflict resolution as well, which is not that useful to me. Marketing would be good. Work focus is great. Calmness. Work ethics. Prone to a little occasional break. Yeah, she probably will. She's looking for 40 hours. She doesn't want weekends. She doesn't want evening. She wants Sundays off. These two work really well together, so that's fine. Basic health insurance. $12.22 an hour is the wage estimate. I have to consider you if your wage estimate is this. So let me just give you the evening bonus, which you don't want to work anyway, so we won't get you there anyway. You wanted basic health insurance, $35 a week, and then you're just good with this. As long as I keep you under the hours that you wanted, you're fine with this. I'm going to actually bump this up to $12.60 just to get a little bit of cushion there. And we'll go ahead and hire you as well. Okay, so we have 2 extra employees that we need to work into the schedule now. So let's just kind of see what we can do there. So the first thing I want to do before I forget is go into the order system, min-max, add to cart, and I don't have enough money for that anyway. I don't have enough pallet space for that either. How much money does the store account have? It says $37.87, but I think it's going to have less than that because of the rent and everything too. So we're going to have to give the store even more money now. Just for this one order though, and then after that, all the money flows to the corporation, okay? So we'll go $500 extra here. So corporate balance is running a little low. But now we can get this placed, and just real quick to make sure that that's actually going to be good the way I want it. Go like that. So I just have to make sure I add a pallet in the morning, and then we're solid. Okay, and then for the staff overview, so we have these two. These guys are pretty good, but I need to remind myself on where their schedule is. So Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sunday, they're working cash register stuff. Okay, and these other guys are working cash register too. So Sue is working cash. Sue actually works as a seller on Thursday. That's okay. So if we go to Lenore, right now her workload is massive, of course, but we're going to change that. So right now, Lenore wants Thursdays off. She wants long work days, but she only wants 20 hours. She's neutral on everything else, and she doesn't take a weekend bonus. So Lenore, who is fantastic, by the way, on the cash registers. This is her preference. She really wants to work in cash registers. Her skills, however, do not support that very much. So she'll be very happy if she can maybe train on this. She doesn't have a lot of talent, so training is going to be on that. But it's fine. What I really wanted was a person to restock, and it turns out she's not the biggest fan of that job, but I think she'll be all right doing it. So if I take the schedule and let's have you be a restocker. Let's have you start work at, she wants 20 hours a week. We can have you start, I need to adjust the working hours here. There we go. So let's have you work 4 hours. I want to take away your breaks. So we're going to go 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's going to be more hours than you asked for. So I'll probably have to give you some of the days off. You wanted to work weekends, and that's where I kind of want you to work anyway. So we'll figure this out. So no breaks needed if you only work 5 hours. So how about we take you... We will take you off of Thursdays. So we'll have you work... We'll have you off of... We already have 2 people on Thursdays, so we'll take you off of Thursdays. And you didn't want to work... What was it? Oh, you didn't want to work Thursdays. Fantastic. Okay, so I think maybe we'll take you off of Mondays as well. Now you're close to what you're wanting to be. And then we'll adjust your working hours so that you are only working, let's say, from 1 to... Now, here's the thing. You like long work days, though. I don't know if that's going to hit me hard with your... Like, you like long work days. I don't know if that's going to hurt my satisfaction. I'm paying you a little bit more than you asked for, so maybe that'll be all right. Let's kind of do this. So this will give you 20 hours, which is exactly what you wanted. You come in at 1 and you work until 5, and all you're doing is restocking in the middle of the day. And you're really happy with this work schedule. If I add extra time on the weekends just to keep you going, if I do this, would you still be happy? Okay, you're 3-star here now. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, you come in on the weekends a little bit more. I like that. And then you're going to be working as a restocker pretty much entirely. I might put you on other tasks, but that's what I want you doing pretty much all the time is restocking here. Okay, I have your schedule done. So great. We'll move on to Antonia Kelly. And she's not great at anything, but she's got great talent. What do you want to do? You like kind of are enthusiastic about almost everything, which is great. You want 40 hours as well. You just want to make sure that you don't work weekends. You don't want to work on the evenings, so that's just not going to be a problem. And then you want Sunday off. Okay, I can make that happen. Let's get you off the weekends, right? No weekends. So this is already 60 hours. Let's take you off of Thursdays. Okay, so I've got everybody's schedule kind of popped in here, at least to somewhat satisfaction. They're going to work a variety of jobs during their shifts. And each one of these guys has different days, different hours, and they also have different tasks. And you'll notice I'm kind of switching their tasks throughout the day. That's to accommodate breaks and to balance out everything. So what we end up with in the full store schedule here, if I go through Monday, the important thing really to me is that there's green in every single period of time. And so you'll notice here, there's somebody on break and there's nobody on the cash register. So Antonia Kelly, Monday at 2 o'clock, I need her to cover that, right? So that's the important thing. So Antonia, when we get her on Mondays at, let's say 2 o'clock right here, this little blue area here, you know, they have different break times. So she went on break, they go on here. So I'm going to have her do a cashier there. And then when I refresh this list, at least I've got green in every single hour that we have people there. That's the idea. So there's got to always be green in every single hour, at least until the end of the day. Now, on Thursdays, we're not that busy, right? Somebody's coming in here. We don't need her to do sales. So Sue doesn't need to do sales on Thursday. The cash register is always the most important one. So we're going to have her do cash registers on the ends of that. And that's going to give us green here. And then, you know, she's doing sales the rest of the day, things like that. We could get her to maybe do some restocking on that day. So we could have like something like that. You spend an hour restocking or whatever here. That's fine. And then, you know, Friday we have somebody restocking throughout the day, just a little bit here. Always somebody there, always someone on the cash register. Always someone on the register. Full on stock restocking here for Leonore, right? Leonore McDonald, her skills is primarily here. I don't really want her on sales. So I don't have her doing sales like ever. She's just bad at it, right? And then Sunday, we're looking like this. And then any other time that we're open, right? All the other times that we're open and, people aren't there, that's just me, right? That's just how that's going. So there's certain periods of time still where I'm alone or I'm just me there. But we now have 4 employees that are moderately happy with their working conditions, right? And their wage and their benefits and the schedule and all the things that they're doing. As we go through the weeks, which we're on day 13 now, I think we're about to shift over. I think this is the second week of the first quarter. The way this game works is there's 2 weeks per quarter, I think. So it ends up being like a 2 month, basically 2 months in a year is kind of how I was doing it.